What's up, you guys? Sean Ross Sapp, Fightful.com, here with a name you know. Silas Young, you can catch him at any number of places. Nashville, February 28th. St. Charles, Missouri, February 29th. And on 18th anniversary, the annual Ring of Honor special, March 13th in Las Vegas. Silas, how you doing?
I'm doing excellent. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. You've become quite a mainstay in Ring of Honor. I think it was the end of 2018. News came out that you had re-signed a 3-year deal with Ring of Honor. I mean, so that locks you down for quite a while, and you always see contract seasons popping up, and you see people coming and going. How does it feel to have that type of commitment to a company like this?
I'm really happy about it. I think it tells both sides that we believe in each other. Ring of Honor is definitely a place that gave me an opportunity, and I don't forget things like that. And for them being willing to invest in me for 3 years, and me being willing to invest in them for 3 years, I think it helps build the relationship.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of changes in Ring of Honor, both on screen and off screen. But how did those conversations go? Did you make it known well ahead of time? Hey, I'd like to stay here, or did they kind of court you in that regard? Because I know that your partner at the time, Beer City Bruiser, had a couple conversations outside of the company.
Yeah, I really like working for Ring of Honor. I like the schedule. I like the freedom to be able to go do stuff, for basically anybody outside of the United States. So for me, there wasn't really much about looking around elsewhere, because I know other places there's a lot more that goes into it. I have a son. I like being in town. I like being home to be able to spend time with him. So for me, Ring of Honor is the perfect fit. And, the whole three-year contract deal was just something that kind of came together out of negotiation. So it was not like it was something that was just put on the table initially.
We've also seen guys like Marty Scurll take an advanced role in the company. I mean, at this point, you've been around the wrestling game for quite a while. Is that ever something that interests you, perhaps getting into the creative side of things?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I'm coming up on March 2nd. It'll be my 18-year mark in pro wrestling, or 18 years since my first match. And, I think that's definitely something I would be interested. I think that's something, any guy's interested in. Wrestling is, although it's a physical sport or whatever, it's a lot of storytelling. There's some theater elements that go into it. So I think that's something I definitely enjoy doing. I mean, even the thing me and Josh Woods have been doing the last 5-6 months, it's something that was kind of my own idea, and something that, Ring of Honor has allowed us to kind of take a little bit, our own direction, which is another huge benefit about working for a place like that, is that they trust in you and they believe in you. You're not given scripts to say, hey, this is what you got to say in your promo. So that, for a lot of guys, that freedom means, so much.
Josh Woods didn't seem like he had a ton of direction before that team with you. Did you approach him about that, or did he approach you? How did that work out?
Yeah, so I mean, Josh has been with the company for a couple of years. I don't know if a lot of people know, but he's a legit badass. He's a former, collegiate wrestler. I think he's 2 or 3-time national champion. He's, worked in mixed martial arts, and he actually basically got his wrestling career started getting signed by NXT. I think before he maybe even wrestled at all. I think just based off of his college background. And, there's so many guys there, and, I think he really got taught the basics, and, he built some good relationships with people down there. And after being released, he had done a Ring of Honor tryout camp, and he's been with the company for a couple of years, and just, him being around and talking with him, I realized he's a really good guy. He's a good, respectful dude. For a lot of people, you would think in his position that maybe he wouldn't quite get it. He wouldn't quite get the respect level and stuff, because a lot of people might view things as maybe things being handed to him a little bit easier than a guy who, say, worked the indies for, 7 or 10 years before they were given an opportunity with a place like WWE or Ring of Honor. So, that was something that I really liked about him, was that he had this good, down to earth, respectful attitude and personality. And I knew that the company liked him. You know, they thought highly of him. I just also knew, you know, wrestling's a thing where you gotta earn respect of the fans. And, you know, in the fans' eyes, he ain't really done crap yet. So there was, you know, they didn't know what to think of him. You know, obviously he's very good technical mat wrestler, but they, you know, it's personality. Wrestling's a lot about personality. And I thought, you know, I kind of had the idea of, you know, just from knowing him, you know, in real life, that he's kind of a goofball. And I always thought that, you know, wrestling always does the same cliche thing of making these guys who are, you know, legit badasses like some mean beast of a guy. And I just thought it was, you know, kind of the same old, why not take an approach a little differently and, you know, let Josh show his personality. And especially with, you know, me being the last real man, we definitely have these clashing personalities. I think so far we've put out some pretty good content, and the matches keep getting better and better as well.
It seems like there's almost a pattern here. There were people like Josh and the Beer City Bruiser and Brian Malonis who maybe didn't have as much direction until you had a little bit to do with them. Is that something that you like to do? Is that a concentrated effort, or has it just happened that way?
I mean, I think the stuff with, you know, Beer City Bruiser and Brian Malonis, you know, I've known Beer City Bruiser since basically day one of my pro wrestling career. You know, we're from the same area. He lives in the Milwaukee area too. And, you know, wrestling's just not that big of a business, so you tend to know people. So that kind of just came together, you know, but more by the company. But, yeah, I mean, it's definitely something that, you know, I've been here for a while. I think the fans, they like me and they respect me. So I think me being able to, you know, take a younger guy like Josh and, you know, showcase him a little bit more, I think it's a good role for me with the company to, I don't know, I guess, so to speak, help guys get over a little bit or help the fans realize who they are as people or characters or wrestlers.
We had spoken a little bit about you being on the creative end of things, and I know you've had a big hand in the MKE promotion, and there was something that happened there last year that got a lot of buzz. A guy rumored to be, never confirmed, CM Punk ran in, did a spot. You're seen actually filming it next to a door. How does this spot happen? What exactly can you say about that?
So the building that happened in has had wrestling at it for like, I don't know, 26, 27 years, and they had gotten bought out, and it was getting torn down. It was bought by some spice factory. They're going to, you know, build something there.
Oh, wow.
And that was actually the building that Punk had. I think Punk had his very first wrestling match in. So I had Dave Frazak and Ace Steel booked on the show, you know, who are good friends with Punk.
Sure.
And at the time, my wife, you know, came up to me and she said, "Hey, Punk's going to do a run-in in this match. Do you mind?" And I was like, "Well, of course I don't mind, you know." I mean, this was 10 minutes before the show. So, I mean, honestly, it's not like something that I booked or whatever. And so, yeah, I mean, that's basically the way it happened was, you know, I think it was just because his buddies were booked on the show. I think it was the fact that the building was getting closed soon. It was the last event there, and definitely the last wrestling event. So I think it was just you know, kind of a little bit of circumstance and luck in who I had booked that made that all work out the way it did. But to be honest with you, I never saw Punk at the building. I never talked to him. So, I mean, can I 100% confirm it was him? No, but I mean, I'd say 9.9% sure it was him.
Did it surprise you that situation kind of emerged? Because I don't know if you even know this. There was only one other spot that we know or that is rumored that he did. He appeared as like a druid tossing salt at like some show that like very few people know about that didn't end up airing because of issues with Colt Cabana. But other than that, that's really the only thing that we know of that possibly he's been involved in physically.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely a very cool thing. Cool thing for the, you know, the promotion and for the area around here. So yeah, I mean, it definitely helped get us a little bit of buzz too, and, you know, have people talking more about the promotion. So it was definitely super beneficial.
A reminder, guys, you all can check out Silas Young, ROH in Nashville, February 28th, St. Charles, Missouri, February 29th, and March 13th in Vegas at 18th anniversary. We did something, I think it was in our last interview, I want to say maybe 2 years ago, that people seem to like, and I want to kind of run it back. Manly or not manly?
All right, I like this.
Where I ask you about various random things, might not even be related to wrestling, and you give your thoughts on whether they're manly or not manly.
All right, I like this.
And I'm excited about this one. White Claws.
White Claw, not manly.
What now? What leads you to say they're not manly? Because I heard you snicker with that as well.
Well, I mean, seltzer water in general is not manly. So alcoholic seltzer water definitely isn't manly, hence the snicker and the strong no.
Would you consider water manly? Because you have to have it to survive.
Yeah, absolutely water's manly. And I'm gonna tell you why it's manly is because you have all these adults out there who'll say, I don't like the way water tastes. When I hear that, I just think, what are you, a child?
So it's the seltzer aspect that makes it not manly.
Exactly.
What about the color lime green? Is that manly or not manly?
I would say that's situational, so I will say it's situationally manly.
How about well done steak?
Ugh, no.
Really?
Definitely not manly. Manly is a rare, medium rare steak.
When's the last time you had a well done steak?
Probably when I was a child.
So you developed that taste for not, or that I don't know what the term would be. You developed that disgust pretty early on.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a lot of times my father would cook the steaks on the grill, and they'd either be done really good or really bad.
So this garnered some really polarizing reactions from a lot of Ring of Honor wrestlers that I spoke to. There were a lot of people that didn't like the white ring mats in Ring of Honor. I think it was last year or so. Do you think those are manly or not manly? White ring mats.
White? What do you mean by white ring mats?
Like Ring of Honor's gone with the dark ones, the black ones, and then briefly last year they switched to, I think, a white one, a very light colored one. And then I had people in Ring of Honor saying, "Oh, well, we canned that real quick. We're not doing that anymore."
You know what? Honestly, I didn't even notice. I don't look at things like that. I think that's more of the mindset of being an interior decorator, and I'd hardly say that's me. So
not
and I'm
manly.
there to. Yeah, I guess not manly. I guess, but I got to be honest with you. I think even having an opinion on it isn't manly.
Fair.
Yeah.
What about fidget spinners? They haven't been in the news in a while, but are they manly or not manly?
They're not manly. They're boyish. They're for children.
How about laser pointers? We don't see those in wrestling anymore. They used to be everywhere. You'd watch Monday Night Raw and the Undertaker's trying to talk. You see a laser pointer at him. Are they manly or not manly?
Nah, laser pointers are for cats.
But what if you're a manly cat? Like, there are some burly cats.
Still, I guess. I mean, you're still not a man. You're just a cat at that point.
That's a good point.